As we have a high school and college graduation, they call their own. And the host drum we have today is a fourth generation of singers. These singers, their fathers, their grandfathers, and uncles started the drum group Red Leaf. In the program it says Prelude, which is the translation of red leaf in our language. And they're well known for composing and singing veteran songs, army songs, for all the military, the wars, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all those. They've composed many, many songs to honor veterans, those killed in action, those wounded in action, those that come home from the war, and honor songs for all of them. So they're known for that. They composed so many military songs, and most of them were all veterans. All respected veterans that served in the wars, World War I, World War II, Korea, and they never ever got to dance to their own song because they were always requested to sing the song. So I'm going to ask the Red Leaf singers to sing their drum song and gather the people up here. We're just a few minutes away from grand entries, they're 10 minutes away. So all the graduates muster up in the lobby, honor guards, they start getting up there, and dignitaries, if you would please, in the grand entry, start getting ready. If you would please. Wax Prelude. Church Lord. Thank you. Be seated. We still got a few minutes yet till grand entry, so Be seated. Spectators, once again, the first two rows are reserved for the elderly, the physically challenged. So if security comes and says, please move, or they lift you up and put you on the third row, that's why they're doing that. And your family members that are sitting out there in those chairs, if they're a little bit too close together, go ahead and pull them aside a little bit there. I know they're togetherness, but don't want to be like sardines either. Relax. There's a saying in our culture that says, oh man, it means just a few words, it means a lot. Come on in, sit down, and tell me all about it. And sometimes that'll go for hours, minutes, or days even sometimes. The whole weekend. So once again, dignitaries are going to be on the speaker stand up here. I'd like to have you in the grand entry also. Light up should be Sitago Lakota Warriors, Wild Horse Butte, and Legion Post 310, and Chauncey Eagle Horn Post 125 is the order for the light up. Going to warm up. I want to say thank you very much to the media department here at Sinte Gleska University. I come in here and they said, Butch, we brought you a microphone stand and it's up on a stage. And I said, where? I thought it was this one. But they said, no, it's this one here, little tiny one. So got a lot of respect to the media department. Short and sweet. Any last minute announcements? And we'd like to have you turn your cell phones onto vibrator status, okay? We don't want a whole bunch of bells going off while we're having an invocation prayer or something. Appreciate it. We had a beautiful blessing ceremony this morning, sunrise prayers right out here, asking for a special blessing for everybody that's coming here, especially the graduates today. So we covered that part of it. And usually I try to say no filming during our prayers, but the important prayers were said out there this morning. Then we'll have another one when we do the feathers. So during the prayer for the feathers and the plumes, please no recording of that one, okay? We sure appreciate it because, again, symbolism, traditional culture, we ask our spirits of our ancestors, our grandfathers, to come and bless this feather, this plume, and we feel like their spirits are going to be here, but they won't. They'll shy away if there's cameras rolling. And we want them to be here to bless that feather and that plume. Okay? And since the unemployment rate is so high in this part of South Dakota, Labor Day has been canceled. Labor Day has been canceled, so mark your calendars, all right? And winter's already following suit. They said they're going to have a parade, but that's going to be about it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to ask you all to stand. My name is Everett Felix. I have an honorary doctorate degree from Sinte University in public service, and I'm very honored to have that. And I greet you all with a warm handshake. Before we start, I want you all to raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, all of you, and wave it around like this. Shake your hand around. All right, I just shook hands with all of you. Put your hands down, Doc. Very good. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the 46th annual commencement exercises at Gleska University with a beautiful grand entry song. So stand with honor and be proud of your graduates. Hokahe, red leaf. Manalo. Tiapa giuhamna tibala wicha hiupo. Wow, spewaka. Huni kiapa wastelo. Feel free to film the grand entry. A lot of pomp and circumstance. This is our traditional pomp and circumstance. Everything's in a circle. So we will make one circle here with the grand entry. With the eagle feather staff, the flag of our people, and that's followed by the red, white, and blue, and the colors of our honor guards. These are all combat veterans, all combat veterans served in war, protecting the freedoms that we so freely enjoy. See Chango Lakota warriors, Wild Horse Beautiful Galas, and the Legionnaires, Post 310. Followed by our dignitaries. Miss Sinte Gleska University Wina Panita Blue Thunder. The Vice President, Debbie Bordo. We have our guest speaker, commencement speaker today, Mr. John Gritz, retired EIA Department of Education. We have President Barry Dunn and all of his staff here today from South Dakota State University. President Barry Dunn is an enrolled member of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. And President Lionel Bordeaux of Sinte Gleska University, and staff and faculty. in our gratitude. We have in our midst Korean War veteran, the Right Reverend Webster Tuhawk in our grand entry. Rita Means, former board member. We have Gabe Medicine also in our grand entry. And I lost this. We have retired from University of South Dakota, a premier advisor of the Student Association at USB, Thomas Eugene Thinnock. We have the founding college secretary, Sherry Redow, in our grand entry also, recently retired again. We make a circle in our grand entry to bring a little more meaning to the commencement exercise. Our master's degree recipients are first. Then we have the bachelor's degrees recipients. And we have the associate degrees and the certificates and the GED graduates. All in a respectful manner. We honor you today, the class of 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our grand entry, if you would please. The class of 2018, we're going to be doing this several times this afternoon, so please. And while you're standing, please reach around and shake hands with your neighbor and smile at each other. Show them that you still have teeth, all right? All right. Those that don't have teeth, IHS have got a new budget going in this year. Going to get some real dentists here, real ones. All right. With that, remain standing. We begin with a prayer. And we want to remember all those students, faculty, any board members, and any others that were affiliated with Sinte University in some way, shape, manner, or form this past year that began their journey to the spirit world. We want to remember them and dedicate this to them. Dedicate our ceremony to them. And we're going to have a prayer at this time. Fred Little Baldigo. Fred. We want you all to say a prayer in your own heart. There's many different religions. We all pray different ways. So just say a prayer as he's leading the prayer. Make your prayer real strong. Always use an example. It's one arrow by itself. One prayer, it goes one way. But if you put a whole bunch of prayers together like a bundle of arrows, you can't break that bundle. So let's make our prayer that strong. All of you, all religions.
You guys are looking good out there. Congratulations. And thank you to the educators. And thank you to Tunkashila today for bringing us here together. For Tunkashila ang petuwa wakang ukihi uyapo, wo pila ungkeni jabi. Hayukan Tukahia huechel, we koshkalaka ahinazi. Wo spe ihuni kiapi hayunka Tokata kia mani piktacha ocha egle kilena awancha chilakinte. Na el wichachi unkte. We chose ani kile gluha mani pi. Haish na ko hoeche wotakuye hecha uyapi. Akichita koshkalaka. Akichita bikoshkalaka. Ahina zinkilena isya hoechelu. We chose ani wowanglake kiel awanchalaki. Honatona lel hechel wa unspe chakia o uyapi kihena ija. Tukashila elwichachi was agwichayente. Tokata kia ho heche mani piktonka. Ocha egele kilena ho heche. Wakalas makawita el egele mani piktacha. Zania tokata kia tiwa hegelha ya pikte. Unkawang kapu Tunkashila, apetu hiya kihena huechel wachi uniapi. Chanu pawan naha woche kiewa gulhama unipi. Hayun khan Tunkashila, apetu kileel huechel woyushki. We koshkalaka kilena haechel. Apetu kilet ha picha, huechel elwichachi. Ushu kilapina was agwiapo. Si tomania takuwakha oyang yeko, wo pila unkeni japelo, apetu kile. Hoheche tuelo, metakuye oyase.
Thank you, Fred. We also pay tribute to the red, white, and blue, as I said earlier. The composition of the song, the emotion that went into it, to console a sister who lost her husband in the war, World War I. And we have a direct descendant of Chief Spotted Tail. See, Gleska means spotted tail. And it's part of his dream, his vision, that was interpreted by a medicine men associates and the founding fathers, founding board members. And so he's a direct descendant of Chief Spotted Tail, and he's always a part of our program. And he sings the song that pays tribute to the red, white, and blue. And today we call upon him once again to come and render the flag song for us, Charlie Spotted Tail. You would welcome him, please, with a nice round of applause here. Wopila. Thank you, Charlie Spotted-tail. Now at this time, as I said in our prelude thing, I introduced the Red Leaf Singers, that their fathers, the uncles, grandfathers, all composed lots of veteran songs because they experienced war. They experienced facing the enemy, and they came back, some of them wounded, and they came back and they made songs for other veterans, their brothers in arms. And so they were respected for that. So we asked our Red Leaf Singers, the fourth generation, to render a veteran song at this time for all the veterans in the crowd. All of you, the honor guard, those of you spectators, if you're a veteran, stand proud with this song. This song is for you. It has meaning for you, to give you courage. And thank you. A war across the ocean. Our Indian boys has gone across the ocean to the war, which is across the ocean. They put our flags, our staff there, across the ocean. You can envision Iwo Jima and other battlefields that our warriors were involved in. Our boys served in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Panama, Grenada, Bosnia, Kosovo, Egypt, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, enduring freedom, Iraqi freedom, and on standby all around the world at this very moment. Our Native American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, have the highest degree of volunteerism in the military per capita population, per capita wise. We're proud to serve. The warrior spirit still flows through our blood veins. Vietnam. A terrible war in Vietnam. Many of our brothers fell. Ahoo, thank you. Standardy, please be seated now at this time. Please be seated for a couple minutes here. And let you relax your toes, flex your toes just a little bit there, relax just a bit. Then I'll make you stand back up again in a little bit. Hang on, okay. The song, the last refrain they sang was, Vietnam was a very terrible war, and many of our brothers fell in Vietnam. We all know there's around 58,272 names that are carved on the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. We have many. From the Rosebud Sioux tribe, we have Larry Wayne Lapointe, Gabriel Two Eagles. Names are inscribed on that black granite wall. We have the Oglalas that have many, many names on there. Every tribal nation has so many names. 226 Native Americans. So there's a lot to see, a lot to know, and you can Google that to clarify all that information. Now at this time, I'm going to call upon Les Mixroom and the Rockin' K drum. Les is the son of Marty Mixroom. Marty Mixroom was involved in the Lakota Studies Department as a singer, translation of song, composition, sing songs, sung many for our activities, all of our activities here at the university. And Les, and then we'll be singing a song to memorialize all those that I said. We dedicate this to those former faculty, students, anyone affiliated with Sinte Gleska in some way, shape, manner, or form this past 12 months have gone to the spirit world. This song is for all of them. And relatives are here. Relatives are here. And so now I ask you to stand again in their honor as we have Rockin' K sing a Woki Sua Oloa, a memorial song. Okay. Translation, the song, when the people gather and there are happy times, good times held, always remember me. Simple phrases that have a lot of meaning to the memory of those we are thinking about at this very moment. When the people gather, and it's the good times, always remember me. That's what they said to us as they began their journey to heaven, to the spirit world. Oh, thank you. Please be seated. Go ahead and sit down there. Relax, relax. And those of you, if their chairs are too close together, go ahead and slide them over just a little bit there. All right, otherwise you're going to get cramps. Don't be rubbing elbows. 20 years from now, somebody might be saying, me too. All right, be careful. Okay, introduce our Sichango Lakota Warriors carrying staff. Number 1, Bill Menard, United States Army, Vietnam. Carrying the red, white, and blue, Anthony Castaway, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam. Proudly carrying the Rosebud Sioux tribal colors, Sheila Blackberry, United States Army, Enduring Freedom. Sichango Lakota Warrior colors, Paul Hardy, United States Army, Grenada. Proudly carrying the POW MIA colors, Nick Leading Fighter, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam. A member of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. And we have our Wild Horse Butte Hokalas here at this time, carrying the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue is Curtis Leonard, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam. Carrying the black and white POW MIA colors, United States Army, Airborne, Vietnam, Clifton de Sousa. Proudly carrying the Ogallala Sioux tribal colors, United States Army, Vietnam, Pat Blackout. Proudly carrying the Rosebud Sioux tribal colors, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam, Roy Spotted Warbonnet. Okay, gentlemen, take care of your troop. Oh, one more. American Legion Post 310, D.L. Quick Bear, North South Dakota, Stanley Wooden Knife, Vietnam era, post carrying the blue and gold of the Legion. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right. Lil, just kidding. Boot camp comes back to me. Oh boy. It's a military protocol. You learn that at boot camp and never goes away. And also we call it the warrior spirit of our people. So let's give our honor guards another round of applause, if you would please. With that, now we have our official welcome to our gathering here today. We're going to call upon the chairperson of the Board of Regents at Sinte University, Mike Bolts. Mike, if you're in the crowd out there someplace. If not, we'll go ahead and welcome to our Rosebud Sioux Tribal Reservation, the president of Rosebud Sioux Tribe, Willie Kendall. Willie, are you here in the crowd? Okay, and then we'll go to the vice president, the Iokihe, Rosebud Sioux Tribe vice president, and an alumni of Sinte University, Scott Herman. Scott, are you here? Okay, that's strike 3. Okay, well, in their place, I'm going to introduce Miss Sinte University, Sanita Blue Thunder, and she can give you a welcome address, all right, on their behalf. Sanita?
Dakiapi, Chante Washte Nape Chiuzapi, Sunita Blue Thunder Machiapi. Hello, friends and relatives. My name is Sunita Blue Thunder, and I welcome you all to the 2018 graduation ceremony. I would like to congratulate all you graduates. Good job, and may you have a successful future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanita. Okay, we'll continue on here. We're going to the president's address at this time, so we're going to go with the president of Sinte University, President Lionel Bordeaux. Let's give him a nice warm welcome here.
Butch Wopila. Thank you. You're always very helpful, and we appreciate what you do for not only the institution, but what you do for the Oyate and the many other tribal nations throughout the country. And I want to welcome the audience. I want to welcome the listeners who are on YouTube or on our local television today. And we also have one of our donors in the audience who come from New York, Christine Rogers. There she is, standing back there. Let's give her a hand and thank you for traveling across the country to honor our graduates. Our donors are very, very important. For instance, this gymnasium that we're in the tech building, a man by the name of Patrick Lannon come through here one time, saw our sign on the interstate, come checked on us, and left us $18 million. Another individual, a Bedford family, brother and sister, teachers, left us $7 million. And Tad and Ted Beck, who work with our art program, have probably given us 10 to 12 million over the years. And Mary McDonald of Dancing with Wolves continues to try to raise money for us. So we're very thankful for the friends that we have throughout the country. I want to thank the organizers and the planners, the stage guests, the speakers, the drums and singers, Les and Marty and Pat and Charlie and Kula, Leonard Crow Dog, spiritual leader. And now for our real reason why we're here, congratulations to all of you graduates and faculty. You make this day possible. It's a recognition of some very, very difficult and remarkable achievement that you have accomplished with your college graduation. You joined the ranks of 3% of the world have a college graduation or college degree. So this is something that is very difficult to achieve, but you and your families, your friends, have put in tremendous sacrifice and hard work to be where you're at today. And as president, I personally thank you for what you've done and your commitment to strengthening not only yourself, but the Sichago Oyate, and having chosen Sinte Gleska University to be that vehicle to help you in your future preparation. As graduates, your help is needed. It's at a very critical time in our life where we have so many challenges, not only here on a Rosebud, but throughout Indian country and throughout the world. And you're here with your new start to help teach and to provide leadership that can help us strengthen what our ancestry wanted us to do, and why we carry Sinte Gleska Spotted Tail's name. And certainly we all know that financially, you've also strengthened your own position. I remember years ago a young woman coming up to me and thanking me for the fact that we have Sinte Gleska University here. She said, "Lionel, it's for the first time my family and I will have Christmas, and my children will have bicycles." Locally, many things affecting our daily life need improvement and need change. We need to, at some point, do an intellectual and an academic review of our laws and the policies that we have. We have too much intellectualism and too much land here on Rosebud to be amongst those poorest counties in the United States. We need an updated vision. We need a plan of action for everything we do. Hopefully, with our newly elected tribal officers, we can begin a process of pulling together our programs, our schools, and our communities to address cultural strengthening, educational unity, using our land and natural resources to address our poverty. We need businesses and we need jobs on a reservation. Health and housing needs to be addressed. Tribal government needs to be updated and strengthened. Tribal government needs to have wola kota and a cultural base. Our families, youth and elders, and communities all need to be a priority. We need our youth to be involved in helping set direction and to develop tribal opportunities. We need our relatives living away from the reservation in cities and towns to be involved. We need our military serving throughout the country and in foreign lands to be involved. And we need to develop partnerships locally, regionally, nationally, and globally. If any of our listeners on YouTube today have any ideas or have financial resources to help us, let us know. In closing, Sinte Gleska University is at its crossroads of development. We are looking to develop chapter 2 of who we need to become. We thank our early founders, Stanley Redbird Sr., Bill Menard, Isidore Whitehat, Nancy Whitehorse, and the many others, such as our alumni, our treaty people, for their vision and thoughtfulness to address strengthening the Sicangu tribal nation and for being an example to others near and far. Personally, I thank the two presidents sitting behind me, President Tom Jackson and Barry Dunn, and understand his wife Jane is in the audience also. Thank you. Much awaits us to do, but with your studies and your graduation, I know that you've set an example, and I know it will be fun and it'll be meaningful to all pull together to address our future. And I thank the students who have enrolled for a second semester. One day they will sit where you're sitting, and one day maybe one of you will be standing here as the president of Sinte Gleska University. Personally, my wife, my family, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, we all thank you for your support of myself in allowing me to be president of Sinte Gleska University for going on 46 years now. Enjoy the tribal fair with all it has to offer, and again, congratulations to our newly elected tribal leaders. Let's all get together and strengthen who we are and create a very strong place for future generations, and in keeping with the vision of Spotted Tail as well as our other ancestries. Love you all. Have a safe trip home. Have a good summer. Have a good future. Pilamai apelo.
Thank you, President Bordo. Thank you very much. And thank you for the applause. Moving right along here, our next speaker was here as a vice president years gone by, that he went on, ventured into the world, and filled a lot of important posts. President of the National Indian Education, also he's a part of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and he's a champion rodeo saddlebrook rider himself, but he's quite an eloquent speaker too, and he's a historian of rodeo cowboys. And now he's back here serving as a provost for Sinte Gleska University. I'd like to have you make welcome Dr. Phil Baird, okay? Let's give him a nice round of applause. Coming out of chute number 2, just kidding.
Helmi Dakapi. Welcome to the Commencement 2018. As President Bordo suggested, it's a lot of history being made here. And to the graduates, I want to commend you for your efforts, commend you and your family, your relatives, your friends, and your teachers that brought you to where you're at today. I know the feeling. I've been blessed to have a degree from SDSU, my master's from Iowa State, and I too was blessed to be honored with an honorary doctorate degree from Sinte Gleska University, so I get the feeling today that you have. I went to Crow Fair last weekend. No, I wasn't teepee creeping in the teepee capital of the world. It was the occasion of the 100th anniversary. And as Butch alluded to, I'm kind of into the history of things, and nothing happens by coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. And that really came to mind when I was at Crow Fair last weekend. And on the way back, I stopped at Fort Phil Kearny. Fort Phil Kearny is located just north of Sheridan, Wyoming. And I read about it, and I knew about it, and yet it came to me that there was a significant reason why I was standing there. That particular fort closed in 1868, 150 years ago. And when I kind of got thinking about it, I went to the actual sites of the Fetterman battle and the Wagon Box battle. And it's a whole different deal reading it in a book and standing on site and thinking about what happened there. And it came to me that 150 years ago, this year, April 29th, we marked the 150th anniversary of the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868. That treaty had a provision of taking down the forts because Lakota Dakotas, our relative the Cheyennes, were counting coup over and over again on the federal government. And in the closing of the 150th anniversary, it dawned on me that that treaty is still active today, very active. And some of us have been at Fort Laramie, and those that went on April 29th walked away with a sense of frustration, certainly disappointment, maybe sadness, but that treaty is still active today, the 1851 and the 1868 treaty. They need to be translated in the 21st century of today. If it weren't for the treaties, we wouldn't have Sinte University. We wouldn't have a lot of things. So your role as graduates will be to step up to the plate. And in the effort of Sinte's mission, tribal nation building, we need you to help us interpret the treaties and to look at the quality of life we want to have here on the Rosebud. I got some good news. We have gone through an accreditation effort where last November, the sanction notice went away thanks to students, staff, administration, board members addressing this next chapter of the university. We have a monitoring report that's due November 1. We're going to continue to look good. And in 18 months, we have a comprehensive review for accreditation. And we need your help, again, in looking at those things that could be strengthened, those things that could be improved in the delivery of higher education. And we invite you, I invite you, my office door is open. In that process, though, of looking at accreditation, we ran into a speed bump, and that was with our Lakota Studies Department. And unfortunately, a wicked rumor is going around that we've shut down Lakota Studies. That's far from the truth. What we have done, though, and we're continuing off of coursework, but we have done, though, is step back and look at a framework for how we can bring it back together in the 21st century, because what we're doing right now isn't happening. We have to look at things differently. We have to go back to our elders, to people like Leonard Crodog, Webster Tuhawk, that were there in the beginning and defined what a tribally controlled education system is supposed to look at. So we are looking at a different accreditation process for Lakota Studies. And I wouldn't be here. I was supposed to be in Norway, but we went ahead and applied for accreditation with the World Indigenous Nations Higher Education Consortium. It was founded and established by President Bordeaux and Sinte University. WINHEC. They're providing a different accreditation mechanism for Indigenous and cultural studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that this week, the WINHEC Board of Regents approved Sinte's application for accreditation for our Lakota Studies Department. So we're on a journey. We are on a fantastic journey. And again, the message by President Bordeaux is we need all of you to be at the table, to plan the future, and to help us. And take advantage of those anniversary moments because, like I said, things happen for a reason. And like I said, just sharing those stories there about 1868 treaty. The future is going to be very, very bright for us. Again, graduates, congratulations. Pilamilo, thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Watch this. Thank you, Phil. Wogalaka itranchakia, wogalaka kiktehe, wowahokuichakwinte. We have a guest speaker. That's how it's written in the program, in case you were trying to read it out there. And he's a gentleman that is really profound in all that he does. And I've always looked up to him ever since I first met him years ago. Some of you weren't even born yet, but that's how long ago we met. And he's worked in education, higher education, in some respect for many, many years, and he's finally retired. He's retired from the education, United States Department of Education. But he's also outstanding artist also. And right now I'm trying to brag him up enough where when he gets done, he'll give me the shirt that he's wearing. So hopefully if I'm lucky, I'll be wearing that shirt next time you see me. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and a privilege to announce his name. I want to have a good Tichahu welcome for Mr. John Gritz, our commencement speaker today.
It would look like a dress on him, wouldn't it? President Bordeaux, SGU Board of Regents, Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council, if you're here, Dr. Dunn, Dr. Jackson, our spiritual leaders, special guests, SGU faculty and staff, and most importantly, you, honored graduates. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. When I look at pictures of myself speaking, I'm always kind of a sober-looking guy, and I'm trying to be friendly, and you're a long ways from you. I can hardly see you because I'm getting old. Plus, I have to wear trifocals, and I have some words I want to speak, so I got to look down often to make sure I'm following my script. But words cannot express how I felt when Provost Baird contacted me, asked me if I would be your commencement speaker today. I'm really, sincerely, and deeply honored to be with you today. I know most of you won't remember me when this is all done, but I hope you'll allow me to give you a little bit of word of advice as the day goes, as when I'm done. But right now, you're really thinking of, do I look snits? I'm in the right spot? Did I get here on time? When are you going to be done? When can I walk across the stage? All these things are going through your mind. So we'll get on. When asked any tribal college and any college or university campus, what's the best day of that academic year? It's always graduation. When I was at Black Hill State, I really enjoyed seeing graduates walk across the stage because I knew them. I knew what they went through, I knew what they accomplished, I knew what their struggles were, I knew them. And for me, it was just a joy to see them, again, walk across, get that diploma, and be an alumni, or go on to to a job or whatever they were going to do. It was fun to know that they were going to do something. I want to share with you, though, this perhaps how I got here today and my history with the Rosebud Sioux Reservation. When I was a student at the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1966, so you can quick add that up. See, he must have been 18 there, so dang, he's old. I got to know a student from Rosebud. His name was Don Moccasin. And then I got to know some kids, a couple of guys from Pine Ridge, Don Montelo and Chris Eaglehawk and Cordell Morissette from Standing Rock. And I'll never forget the first thing Chris asked me when he saw me the first time was, "Can you play basketball?" That was important to Chris. But I first came to the reservation back in 1970 when I was a student at Sioux Falls College. Some students at the college wanted to come out and pick up Betty Valandra so she could go back and graduate from Sioux Falls College as well. But the interstate wasn't done at the time. It stopped at Chamberlain. And then it came on. We came on a two-way road to Murdo, then down, and we picked up Betty. While in Sioux Falls, though, I became also president with Rodney Bordeaux. And I also remember the movie Journey Through Rosebud. So again, that goes back a ways for me and what I did. But while at Sioux Falls College, I met Lionel the first time. We had a speaker series at the college, and Lionel and a few of his classmates from the USD graduate school drove up to hear former Congressman Ben Rifle give a talk. And I can still remember seeing Lionel stand up. When he stood up, he kept standing up and standing up. And he's a big man. And then he gave former Congressman Rifle a hard time about Indian issues. And I thought, wow, he's pretty brave. So I was impressed with what he did. Our paths again crossed at Huron College during a special summer program about Indian education. I was still a college student, and as I recall, Lionel just accepted presidency of SGU. For some reason, he and Lowell Amiot from Pine Ridge either, one, took a liking to me, or two, more than likely felt sorry for this misplaced Cherokee and took me under his wings of mentorship. And by the way, I'm Cherokee. I will never forget Lionel and Lowell talked me into making one of the keynote addresses at the National Indian Education Association conference in Seattle, Washington in 1972 about students' rights and responsibilities. Now that was a huge thing back then. It's even bigger now, your rights and responsibilities and your safety. To this day, I don't know why I accepted that challenge, but I did. My knees were knocking on that stage as all those Indians were looking at me and listening to me, just like today. But while getting ready to board the airplane returning to Sioux Falls from Seattle, I was standing next to Lionel in line. Two men came up to us and tapped us on the shoulder, and they said, "We want to talk to you in private." They said they'd save our place in line. So we walked to a room with these two guys to tell us. They looked us in the eye and said, "You two fit the profile of a potential airplane hijacker." I thought, really? And my eyes got really big, and Lionel got hopping mad. Man, he wasn't going to give in to anything. And I wanted to do what I had to do so I could get on the plane and come home and not go to jail. But Lionel, he was there. He was standing his ground. And for some reason, we got on the plane and they didn't search us. They didn't search us at all. But I always thought, and now when I see Lionel in the airport, he won't even stand next to me. If he sees me, he goes the other way. Now, I've always said, though, he fit the profile, not me. I was just a fun-loving college student. Upon graduating from college, Lowell offered me a job at Black Hills State. During that first year and a half, I was the counselor for Student Support Services and Center of Indian Studies. But on the fateful date of December 4th, 1974, I was asked to go up to the financial aid office and help because of some staff changes. So he said, go up for 2 weeks, help them out, we'll find somebody. So I went up for 2 weeks in the financial aid office. And I thought, who in the heck would want to do this job? Nobody likes you, the students are mad, the parents are mad, the faculty and staff, the president, everybody doesn't like what you're doing. So I went back in 2 weeks and I asked Lowell, did you find somebody? He says, no, you got to go back again. So I went back up 2 more weeks. Same thoughts. Who'd want to do this job? 2 weeks I go ask Lowell, did you find somebody? He said, nope, we're still looking. You still got to go back up there. So I went back up for 2 more weeks. For 23 years, I went back every 2 weeks to get my old job back. Actually, after that 3rd trip up, it dawned on me, they're not looking for anyone. I'm going to have to do this job. So I learned it, and I learned it, and then in 1980, they appointed me as Director of Financial Aid at Black Hills State. And at the time, I thought that's pretty courageous of the university or the college then to do that. Appoint this great big Indian guy with a long ponytail to be the financial aid director. We had fun with it because I felt we did a good job with the students, but more importantly, we educated family and people that were non-native because they would come in and say, I need to see Mr. Grits. So the staff would say, he's in this office right here, and they'd go look in, they'd see me sitting there and say, no, 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 I would see Mr. Grits. You know, this big Indian wasn't supposed to be in that office. But I think what was valuable in a role that you don't expect to see a native person was that they saw somebody that looked like them, an Indian student. And I had one student tell me, the only reason I came to Black Hills State is because I saw John Grits in the financial aid office. He looks like me. So I can relate to him. And I tried to do that. Sinte Gleska University was the first tribal college I ever visited. That was back in 1975. As Phil said, Black Hills State was your host institution until Sinte had become accredited. My job was to help SGU with the administration of the student financial aid programs. So once a month I'd drive down. I'd drive down with either a bunch of checks in a briefcase to make sure everything was right. I even think Butch Felix had a check back then. But I come down the second time and did the same thing. And when I was getting ready to go home, this young lady named Eileen Lapointe, she said, John Grits, where are you from? I said, I'm from Spearfish. She said, no, where are you from? You know, when you ask an Indian person, it's, where are you from? I said, oh, I'm from Oklahoma. Oklahoma. I said, what kind of Indian are you? I said, I'm Cherokee. She said, no, really, what kind of Indian are you? I said, I'm Cherokee. And then she took me around by the arm and she took me to every office and introduced me. She said, you got to meet this man, John Grits. He's a real Cherokee. Throughout the years, I've worked with some amazing, dedicated, hardworking SGU staff who wanted to do it right for you as students on this campus. I'm going to name a few names, and I know that we're visionaries, and I know I'm going to forget some, so forgive me. Of course, I got to know Lionel, Stanley Redbird, Ronnie Tice, Sherry Redall, Albert Whitehat, Eileen Lapointe, Harley Zazu, Mike Bench, Bill Hay, Tilly Black Bear, Fred and Doris Leader Charge, Victor Duval, Phil, Joseph Marshall, and my good friend Midas, who, believe it or not, really does care for you as students, and many, many more people. So there's been a lot of people that have made a difference for this particular university. Now we come to today. Today is a highlight of your life. Some of you are a university graduate with a master's degree, or a bachelor's degree, or an associate of arts degree. Some have earned a certificate, and others earned a GED. Some will go on and do a job. Some will pursue more education. What you have in common is a culturally based education from your home. That's unusual. You know, the tribal college movement's just 50 years old. So now you can stay home and get your college education. Be proud of what you've accomplished. You and your family sacrificed a lot for you to be here today for your success. And you don't and shouldn't take a back seat to anyone. You are armed with a quality education. Be sure to thank your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, your brothers, your sisters, perhaps your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, the faculty and staff at SGU, and yes, some of you need to thank your snag. One of the things that I've seen this college change a lot is the physical facilities. To come here now, the first time I came, you were in the old BI building in Rosebud. And now you're in this brand new facility here. And I really like to see that. I've been fortunate in my jobs to have visited all the tribal colleges but two. And they're all just like this campus. They started small, they've grown big. Now all these facilities they can offer to you as students. And that's important. And the first time I came here to see this, Lionel was really proud of what he'd accomplished. So he's going to give me a tour in a golf cart. So he threw me in the golf cart, he threw his bag in the back, and he took off. And he was driving around, pointing at things, looking at this, tell me this. We were going all over the place. And he wasn't watching. He was going way too fast, and all of a sudden out of the bush came a rabbit. And he hit the rabbit. And that rabbit was dead. And I said, Lionel, you just killed that rabbit. What are you going to do? He said, don't worry about it. I said, no, what are you going to do? You're not supposed to do that. Don't worry about it. So he turned the cart around, and we went back and looked at that rabbit, and sure enough, it was dead. It was just laying there. And he got in his briefcase, and he's fiddled, and he brought out this real pretty silver can. And he shook this can, and he looked at that rabbit, and he shook this can, and pretty soon he started to spray it. Just sprayed that rabbit. Then one eye started to blink. Then the other eye started to blink. Then his ears popped up. And that rabbit started to hop, and he hopped across the road, and he stopped, and he waved at us. And he hopped a little further, and he stopped, and he waved again. And that rabbit hopped all the way into the bush, just waving to us. And I looked at Lionel and said, wow, you're magic. How'd you do that? He said, it was nothing. I said, let me see that can. No, yes, no, yes. So I grabbed it from him. I looked at the can, and it said, hairspray. Says, brings dead hair to life. Adds permanent wave. You know, today, with the leadership in this country in such turmoil, we need you more than ever. We need your leadership, your new ideas, your courage, your commitment to lead our sovereign nations. In the past, some of us have led that fight. Heck, look at us up here now. We're all getting old. Well, except for me, my hair is light black, it's not gray. All of a sudden, we have become the elders. So we get to eat first. Many of the people I went to school with now, or worked with, are now retired or have gone to the spirit world. Many have dedicated their lives to Indian education so you could succeed today. We need to be that grounded, to be proud of who you are, to take leadership roles again with your tribe, your schools, your community, your reservation, or whatever role you accept. I've been in college with the tribe. I've been involved with the tribal colleges since the first day I walked on this campus. I have 5 children. Brian lives in Sioux Falls and is a banker. My daughter KJ lives in Washington, D.C. and works for the Smithsonian. Jeremy and Carlton work at Glacier National Park, and both graduated from a tribal college with a forestry degree. My youngest son, Trevor, who the Creator took home 7 years ago, was attending a tribal college when he passed away. I am so proud of my 2 sons who, like you, graduated from a tribal college. I once asked Carlton why he was so successful at Saviour's Kootenai College. While a student at Spearfish, he was placed in special ed classes. He did well in school, though, but once he got to college, he made straight A's. I said, what's the difference? He said, well, at the tribal college, we get to go into the forest. I can see the forest, I can touch the forest, I can smell the forest. It makes sense to me. So that's why I learned so well. And I firmly believe Indian students learn differently. Culturally, we learn from our grandparents, and we were outside. We learned firsthand from being outside. It all made sense to us. It was relevant to our survival. SJU continues that way of learning for you. I want to end with one more story. When I was appointed Director of Financial Aid at Black Hills State, we used to go to meetings and we would get together and we'd go across the state and meet in maybe Brookings or Sioux Falls, and we'd come back. And we came back one time and we stopped in Wall, South Dakota. And we stopped for lunch, and I sat down, I ordered, and I went to the bathroom. When I went in the bathroom, I startled this old cowboy in there. And I walked in, oh, he looked at me and he took a step back and he said, how? And I said, hi. And he said, are you from around here? And I said, no. He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Spearfish. Ah, Spearfish, he said, Spearfish, that's a good party town. Do you party there? I said, no. I said, what do you do? I said, I work there. He says, well, where do you work at? I said, I work at Black Hill State. He said, what, are you a janitor or something? And I said, no. I said, I'm the director of financial aid. And he took a step back and he looked at me and he says, boy, you sure are coming up in the world, ain't you? You know, some people think it's funny. I do. Some people think it's sad, and it is. But what happened, perhaps on that day, is I changed the old cowboy's perception of what Indians can do. We can do anything we want. You now have the responsibility to change the stereotypes of how people perceive us. Again, congratulations to you. And if I can say this, I'm proud of you. I know I do not know you personally, but you have accomplished a university degree. Walk a good road, and when you get to fork in the road, as Yogi Berra said, take it. Wadon in Cherokee means thank you, and there's no word for goodbye in Cherokee. Instead, we say Donada Gohi, which means until we meet again. Good luck and thank you.
That was good. Thank you, John Grit. He really is Cherokee. Remember that. Cherokee. All right. I thought it was in the military. All of us in the military, we know that. Every time we met somebody that of color, they say, hey, I'm part Cherokee. My great-grandmother, Cherokee princess, that kind of stuff. Maybe they were John Grit's grandmothers or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of Cherokees out there, but John is a real one, and he's a very well-experienced educator, one that's made a difference in all that he does. Okay, we're at this part of the agenda here now where we're going to award the academic diplomas. All right, finally, okay. Yeah, but we got some more speakers after that. There you go. Put your hands together. Oh, somebody's girls have engagement rings on. They just fell off. That diamond fell out. I got it anyway. So at this time, again, I want to remind you, when you get to come across here, get your diploma, and then you'll traverse through here. We got a spot marked over there where you can stop there and smile. Smile for your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, X1, X2, X3, X4, whatever. And then 2 more steps, and then stop on that slab of pipestone. I gave a little orientation what that pipestone represents. There's a symbolism involved in that. You're gaining, that pipestone comes from Grandmother Earth. You're gaining the wisdom and all that flows through Grandmother Earth, all the resources that flows through it. Everything comes from Grandmother Earth. And that pipestone was donated and presented to Sinte Gleska University by Chief Leonard Crodog with the words that let your graduates stop on this, let them stand on there for a minute and say a prayer, say a feeling, express something from their heart about wishing for success or whatever they're going to do, and that'll help to solidify the meaning of the diploma that they received today. So don't be scared of that. That's pipestone. And remember, our sacred pipes are made out of pipestone. And again, I used the example, we have arteries, we have veins that flow through our body that carry the lifeblood in our system to keep us going. And that's basically what that is for Grandmother Earth. That flows through her veins and her arteries. And the symbolism, that you get strength from that. Everything comes from Grandmother Earth. So with that, we'll continue here. Okay, our presenters here, I'll call the names off, and our Mike Board, the chair of the Board of Regents, the president, Provost, the Vice President of Academic Affairs, and Ms. Sinte University WIA will do the presentation. You can feel free to shake hands with our stage guests up here, honored guests, okay? With that, everybody take a deep breath and let it out. Okay, there we go. Masters of Education. Education Administration, grades 7 through 12, secondary principalship. Our first graduate is Tiana Heiner. Apparently she's already working someplace. And a Master's of Education, Curriculum and Instruction, Linda Onefeather. Here we go, oh boy. I wish you could all see the smile she had on her face when I said her name. That's what it's all about. The sense of pride and accomplishment. Masters of Education, Curriculum and Instruction, Gleska Sage Fast Dog. Yay! All right, way to go, Linda. That's the way. That's the way. Masters of Education, Education Administration, 7 through 12, secondary principalship, Rashad Shannon. Masters of Education, K through 12, reading specialist, Patricia Tinnett. It took her only 40 years. She said, oh, okay, all right. That's an accomplishment, all right. We never stop learning. Now we go to our bachelor's degrees. Bachelor's degrees, you can all stand up at this time, the ones in business management. Go ahead and stand up right now, right there, and I'll call your name up. These are the Bachelor of Arts, Business Management. The first one is Della Spotted Tail, Business Management, Accounting minor, and Legal Studies. That's one of the most beautiful names in the whole wide world. All right. Remember to pause on the X for the photo and on the pipestone. Bachelor of Arts, Business Management, Accounting minor, Sierra Two Strike. Sierra. Bachelor of Arts, Business Management, Accounting minor, Jana Wad. Bachelor of Arts, Business Management, Accounting minor, Irving Young Jr. Sinte University, they oversee the degrees, the accrediting authority for Sinte University extends out to some sister colleges, and to the east, our neighbor sister tribe to the east of us, Ihankwa, which is a Yankton Reservation. Ihankwa Community College, we have business management, bachelor degree here, business management, Justin Canoyer, Justin. And I know Justin, he's a full-time dad, and he's also a full-time employee, and he's almost a professional musician. Almost. I say almost because he's only got 2 guitars. And Business Management, Ihakwa Community College. Business Management, Jordan Drapo. Jordan. Okay, she's not here. She's also a well-accomplished champion jingle dancer too. Bachelor of Science, Arts and Sciences, Liberal Arts History concentration, Cassandra Artichoker. All right, Cassandra. She's walked across this stage before, so she's used to this. She's going to go for a master's degree. I just know it. Bachelor of Science, Arts and Sciences, Environmental Science, Biology concentration, Karen Moore. Hey! Bachelor's in Education, K-8 Elementary Education, Special Ed concentration, Richard Croegal. Richard Croegal. Bachelor's in Education, K-8 Elementary Education, History Selected concentration, Kyle Homan. Da 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 da. Bachelor's in Education, K-8 Elementary Education, Early Childhood, Jalen Lochterman. Bachelor's Education, K-8 Elementary Education, Special Education concentration, Earl Pino. Brand new hat for graduation. All right. Brand spanking new. Bachelor's Education, K-8 Elementary Education, Early Childhood, Valine Pretence Eagle. Dalid. Bachelor's in Education, K-8 Elementary Education, Early Childhood, Norman Running Jr. Norman. He's going to be a principal and a superintendent someday. Congratulations. Bachelor's in Education, grades 7 through 12, Secondary Education History, Nellie Tuout. Nellie is one of our premier speakers too, debate declam winner. Nellie, all right. She's got some very, very eloquent words that she shares every now and then with people, so I'm sure she's going to do that in the school system. Now we have some alternative certifications here in fine arts. We have Lisa Sully Schutz. Alternative certifications. In Lakota Studies, Tamara stands and looks back. History and Culture, concentration. Tamara or Tamara? She don't mind as long as the guy spelled her name right on the diploma, right? Yeah. All right, Wopila. Now we go to Associate of Arts in Arts and Sciences, Kaolawa Stone, Arts and Sciences. Yay! Boy, that's a beautiful name too. Her song. Ta'olawa. Associate of Arts, Arts and Sciences, Lower Brook Community College, Kuwichasha. Arts and Sciences, Ronnie Kenyon. And again, sometimes we don't have all of our affiliated graduates show up with us, so we'll say their names anyway. Arts and Sciences, Jamie Marks.
They have their service.
Arts and Sciences, Terry Marks. That's Lower Brook Community College. Arts and Sciences, Sylvia Rockwood, Lower Brook Community College. And Arts and Sciences, Seneca Skunk. That's all through Lower Brook Community College. Now we go to Business Management, Associate of Arts, Business Management, Phoebe Amiot. Yay! You're going to celebrate, ride the Ferris wheel tonight. Business Management, Charity Bordeaux. Charity. Business Management, Associate of Arts here, Dana Elwanger. Dana. Remember to stop for the camera there and on the pipestone too. Congratulations! Yay! Associate of Arts, Business Management, Shane Drapo. Hey. He's got a fan club out there. There you go, Shane. Looking sharp. Associate of Arts, Business Management, Anna Miller. Anna. Woo! Your mom is emptying out a box of Kleenex back there, son. And she stepped over to shake hands, but Chief Leonard Crow Dog is over here. So I said, Whoopila, Anna. Associate of Arts, Business Management, Bernadine Salmon. Bernadine. Associate of Arts, Business Management, Amber Tasma. Amber. Associate of Arts, Business Management through Ihaquah Community College, William Bennett. And again, they might not be here, but we'll go ahead and say their names. So, Associate of Arts here, Jessica Chafin, Business Management. Associate of Arts here, Business Management, Christopher Travesey, Business Management. This guy is probably one of my grandsons because his dad is my godson, so bet. All right. Associate degree in education, elementary education, Gerald Eaglebear. I think Gerald is, he's on the election board. He did, finished up his work last night at 10 o'clock. And today he's on a powwow committee, the registration. So registration opened at 1 at the powwow ground. So he said, he's going to step in a little Hakoja girl to get his diploma. All right. Come on up here. There you go. She's representing Gerald here. So let's give her a big round of applause here. Associate of Arts Education, Andrea Lochterman. Andrea Lochterman. I know she was just sitting there, said, please don't say my name wrong. We got it right, Lochterman. Associate degree, elementary education, Taima Valandra. Taima. You check that smile out. Associate degree, again through Laurel Brew Community College, elementary education, Donnie Charger. Donnie Charger. Associate degree, elementary education, Ann Whitney through Laurel Brew Community College again. Associate's degree, education through Ihunkwa Community College, Shailene Thompson. Shailene Thompson, elementary ed. And also through Ihunkwa is Amanda Reif, elementary education. Amanda. Now we go to human services. Some of them, they're from across the river, so they evidently couldn't make it over. Human services, associate degree in human services, Latoya Crazy Bull. Latoya. Oh. Very good, very good. Associate Human Services, Jesus Theta Croigo. Okay. I hope I said your name right. Okay, all right. Associate in Human Services, Martina Croigo. Martina. Woo! Don't hesitate to give a big shout out here when you have one of your community members, your child, your niece, nephew, son, daughter, grandson, grandchild. Give a big shout out here. Associate degree, Human Services, Pauline Jackson. Here she comes. Oh boy, look at that beautiful hair. Wow. That's beautiful, Pauline. Congratulations. Associate in Human Services, Thomas Keller. Thomas. Associate Human Services through Laurel Community College is Michaela Estes. Michaela Estes. Associate through Laurel Community College, Darrell Estes. Darrell. Associates in Human Services, Laurel Community College, Kelsey Ortley. Kelsey Ortley. Okay, now we go to Associate of Science and Biological Sciences, Makhalutawi Quickbear. Helena Quickbear. Quick translation, her name is Red Earth Woman. It's a beautiful name. Associate of Science, Environmental Sciences, Darian Running Horse. Darian. Associate of Applied Sciences in Nursing. Licensed LPN is a licensed practical nursing. Joseph Hacker. Joseph Hacker. Probably the most recent member of the Hacker nursing history. Oh boy. Gary Hacker, the old man, right down the line. All right. Congratulations. Associate Applied Sciences, licensed practical nursing. Emma Michalik. We could make your name a little fancier. Michalik? Mahalik. All right. Hey, all right. There's a silent C in there. All right. Okay, Associate of Applied Sciences, LPN, Kobe Simmons. Kobe. Whenever I see nurses come around, I put my arm out right away for the blood pressure cuff. Been in the hospital too many times. Now we go to Institute of Technologies, Building Trades. The first one is Michelle Buchanan, 1-year certificate in building trades. Michelle Buchanan. 1-year certificate, building trades, Ryan Eaglefeather. Ryan. Woo! Okay, Institute of Technology, Building Trades, Certificate, Pierre Lemay. Pierre Lemay. One-year certificate. 1-year certificate, Building Trades, Thomas Medicine Bear, Building Trades. Thomas. You know, some of these, when in the building trades, they're probably working on the powwow grounds, the rodeo grounds at the fairgrounds already. They were still a work in progress over there. Yeah, building trade. They built an A-frame house out here at the horse ranch, so it's already pretty. All right. She's accepting for here. Okay, computer technology certificate, Dale Plentyhorse. Dale. Congratulations, Dale. Institute of Technology, Building Trades, 1-year certificate, Richard Spottertail. Richard. One-year certificate, Institute of Technology, Building Trade, Terry Gray. Terry Gray. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer out. Finally. And he's also got a certificate in electrical apprenticeship. All right. 1-year certificate is Michael Long Sr., Building Trade. Michael Long, Building Trade. 1-year certificate in Office Technology, Cheryl Redbird. Certificate in Building Trades, Sarah Valandra. Okay, here comes Cheryl, Sarah. Yeehaw! Congratulations. One-year certificate, Office Technology, Sean Day Whitebird. Okay, Jim. Oh, here comes Jim. We're going to go into our GED graduates this time, and Jim Marshall will help with this one. He's the director of the program. So we finished with the GEDs. We're going to have everybody stand and a big round of applause for them. Then we'll go into the next part of our agenda. So. Okay, the GED graduates. And again, some of them might not be here, but we're going to go through the whole list here. So for some reason or another, they might have quit school, high school a little bit early, but they decided to continue on later on. And we have an opportunity, the resource here at Sinte Gleska to provide that for them through the general equivalency graduate program here. So Nellie Boneshirt is our first graduate. Nellie Boneshirt, let's give her a nice round of applause here. We have we have several master's degree graduates that got a GED here, associate's degree, master's degree, and on to master's degree. So the resource is there, make use of it. The next graduate GED is Mary Boneshirt. Mary. And then we go to Grayson Bordeaux, next GED graduate, Grayson Bordeaux. Next one is Noah Serve. Noah Serve. Noah. Next one is Charlene Cook. Charlene Cook. The other graduate is Caleb Dubray. Caleb Dubray. That's a cool name. Next one is Jessica Eitrium. Jessica. E-I-T-T-R-E-I-M. So Eitrium. Okay. The next one is Bobby Joe Felix. All right, Bobby Joe. One of my brother Banaka Bill's baby girls. All right. Next graduate is Oriana Heinert. Oriana Heinert. Woo! And next graduate is Christopher Heath. Christopher. Next one is Chelsea Lance. Chelsea Lance. Congratulations to all of you. Okay. There you go. Congratulations. Our next graduate is Raven Songer. Raven. Our next graduate is Jacob Stewart. Jacob Stewart. And our final graduate here at GED is Isabella Whipple. Isabella. Okay, I'm going to ask the class of 2018, master's degrees, associate degrees, GED, graduates, all of you to stand and face the crowd, and we'll give you a big round of applause, okay? All of you stand up. Face the crowd, face the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018, the Gleska University. All right. You girls put that Price is Right wave out there. All right, just like Amber does. Okay, go ahead, be seated again. Oh, don't forget you're going to eat after we get all done here, so got some good food cooking for you. Oyeha woyo ni ha wo api woyata na ha wola kota o wasutro wi echoha wo echo lena echumpelo. We'd like to recognize some individuals that walk the good road, the good red road in their lives, and their life experience is an example, it's a lesson for everyone else that are around them, that know them. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to the President, Lionel Bordeaux, to award some honorary cultural degrees with pride in all aspects of our life. Itracha, honorary degrees.
Once again, congratulations to everyone who is honored. And we always, at this part of the program, we award an honorary cultural degree, and we'll give our first one to John Gritz, our commencement speaker. John.
We're trying not to pull too hard on his ponytail. It might be a wig. Just kidding. That's real. That's real. That's real Cherokee hair. An honorary degree. Dr. John Gritz. All right. Haste. A diploma, buckskin diploma, and an eagle's wing fan and a feather.
Next, we have the president of Black Hills State University, Dr. Tom Jackson, Jr. Next, we have the first employee at Sinte Gleska University, Sherry Red Owl Niece, retired. Our next honoree is from the same town I am, White River. I watched him time he was a little boy, watched him grow up and accomplish many good things. Tremendous basketball player for White River, also in the college. Eugene Thin Elk, retired, University of South Dakota. And let's give our honorary cultural doctoral degrees a round of applause. Pilamay apelo. Is this yours or this mine? Yeah, we're going to tie the feathers on also.
Okay, all right. Another round of applause for our honorary doctorate degrees from Sinte Gleska University here. Dr. Tom Jackson, Todd Gritz, and Tosh Eugene Thinnock. We recognize you for the things that everything you contributed to our way of life, and it's a small thing, but it symbolizes a reward for all that you've done in your life. As we continue on, and your legends will outgrow you. Yes. And if you want to talk about flying like an eagle, talk to Dr. Jackson here. He flies like an eagle every day. He's a licensed pilot. Yes. All right. In the military and in his professional life and academics. It's okay, at this time I'm going to get all the graduates to come and line up here in front. We're going to tie on the feathers and the plumes. You have a sponsor that's going to tie your feather and your plume on. We'll have a prayer, and your sponsor will hold the feather and the plume, and they'll pray with that for you. And then we'll have Chaz Jazz Whitefeather is going to sing a blessing song and a tying on song. And so we'll do that, then tie them back on, and then we'll be seated again. We'll have some dignitary, congratulatory remarks here. Oh, I jumped ahead because I just wait. I got some remarks to do first. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. We have some speakers that need to share some messages with each and every one of you here before we decide feathers and plumes on. So the first one is Dr. Cheryl Crazy Bull, Executive Director of the American Indian College Fund. And she's over here, so Cheryl, come up here. And again, excuse me, I jumped ahead a little bit here. Cheryl is a very busy individual working for the American Indian College Fund, and all the donations are tax deductible. So remember that. When you all get professional jobs, you can donate to it too. So American Indian College Fund.
I like to make sure I make an entrance. I always make sure I get here so I can sit back there and come up here and shake hands with everybody. Thank you, President Bordeaux, and members of the community that put together the graduation. I'm really happy to get to be here to congratulate all of the graduates, some of whom I'm related to and some of whom I've known as you go through your career. I was reminiscing that it's been 37 years since I first walked in the door at Sinte Gleska University to be a faculty member. And I had this really wonderful journey with people like Lionel and Butch and Phil and others to find a way to contribute back to the community. So now I work at the American Indian College Fund, where we actually have people share their resources with us so we can give them to you. And you can have the financial resources that you need to go to college or to support the colleges. So we tell your story all the time. And I'm really happy to be able to do that for you and for your families and for those generations that are coming after us, so that we can have the resources so that they can go to college too, and they can make a difference in our communities and in our in the lives of all of our children and grandchildren. I just want to say one thing that I like to do every year when I come to the Sinte Gleska. Well, actually two things. One is to recognize President Bordeaux, who is the longest serving president of any college in the United States. That's quite an accomplishment. And then the other thing that I like to remind us as a community is to be really grateful that we have Sinte Gleska University here. There are only 35 accredited tribal colleges in the United States. We should never take this institution or any tribal college for granted. We're very special. We're very special places where we get to go to school as Native people with each other, and we get to have our identity and our work and our relationships, our kinship all reinforced. We forget that sometimes, that we should just be really thankful for the university and that we should do everything that we can to support this institution. I want to really do a special shout out to John Gritz, who was really quite humble in his remarks. John has served in tribal education throughout his career. And as a result of his work, a lot of people got to go to college who wouldn't have otherwise had the financial support that they needed. So I really want to appreciate him and my Lekchi Webster and my Lekchi Leonard for being here today, giving us their support and their love. So thank you, graduates, and congratulations to you and your families.
Thank you, Dr. Crazy Bull. Gifting here for one of our congratulatory speakers here. All right, beautiful. Now you have to dance and the powwow tomorrow. We'll register you in the fancy shawl, women's fancy shawl dancing tomorrow, okay? All right, okay, there we go. Yeah. I'll tell you a little part of the history. She said that was 30-something years ago or something like that. The very first time I ever introduced her, it was behind the old college administration building. I used to sit on the corner west of the tribal building, and we was having some kind of a gathering on the back in the porch. And I introduced her as one of the most dynamic speakers I ever heard in my life, because before that, all I ever heard was she'd look over the fence and say, "You guys want some cookies?" Because she's always baking cookies. All right, so that was what I said, the most dynamic speaker I ever met in my life, and she turned out to be that. She's known all over the place. She's on a lot of leadership roles and all the American Indian College Fund, and she goes all over raising money for Native American students to go to college, higher education. So I think she deserves another round of applause. Let's give her Cheryl, Dr. Crazy Bone. Thank you. Now at this time, it gives me great honor and privilege to introduce a young man here. He's a Sichangu Lakota, and he has a big Native American club that's working at the university, South Dakota State University, and he's a member of our great Sichangu Lakota Oyate. If you would please welcome Dr. Barry Dunn at this time. Watch this.
President Bordeaux and Provost Baird and Butch and everyone in the auditorium this afternoon, welcome from South Dakota State University. My colleagues and I come with an open heart of service, and we're really proud to be here this afternoon. A special congratulations to the graduates, their families, the university, which means the administration and the faculty. This is a wonderful afternoon for all of you, and we couldn't be prouder of you. To the graduates, this is a great step. This is an enormous achievement for you. I couldn't be prouder of you, and I know I speak for everybody at South Dakota State, wishing you the very, very best. Congratulations. And I do bring a gift from South Dakota State to Sinte Gleska for a scholarship for our upcoming students.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dunn. Watch this. They're really expanding the Native American opportunities at South Dakota State University. I witnessed that because I announced their powwows up there just about every year. The Native American Club is getting involved in a lot of different things. They sponsor a lot of different things. They had one of the horse regalia presentation last year that was really well received up there. So thank you, Dr. Dunn. And another one here. Dignitary with us on the stage here. He's the president of Black Hills State University, and recently they hosted a honoring over there for President Lionel Bordeaux that named a dormitory in his honor. So please welcome Dr. Tom Jackson, Jr., president of Black Hills State University. That's it.
President Bordeaux, my distinguished platform guests and graduates, if you would give me just a moment to say a few words to all of you. Again, congratulations to every one of you. Think with me for just a moment. When my parents first had their first son, who was me, they had these dreams. These dreams were that one day this young boy would grow up and be healthy, would find a high school degree someday, be involved in the community, hopefully earn a college degree, and maybe possibly find a life partner that you could share your life with, and then repeat the process. Is that accurate to say? And many of us and our parents and grandparents, aunties and uncles had those same dreams for all of us. And all of you today fulfilled one of those many dreams the spirits and your ancestors, my ancestors as well as yours, long before this moment, had for everyone in this room. So I congratulate you on the significance of the work that you've achieved to this point. I also ask you to think about two different speakers we had today. President Bordeaux talked about college graduates and how many there are on this earth, 3%. And for those that joined as a baccalaureate or a master's, you are in that 3%. 3 out of 100 times millions have a college degree. And the expectation that individuals have of individuals with college degrees is very different than every other person on this earth, because we expect greater things from those with college degrees. Mr. Gritz talked about those things. He told you stories, and in those stories were significant elements that spoke to the expectation all of us have of you with your college degree. He also spoke about how other individuals may look at you one day as a janitor, not realizing you're the director of financial aid or the president of a university. But you know you've earned that degree, and you did it the hard way or the easy way, but you've earned it, and no one will ever take it away from you. So on behalf of everyone at Black Hills State University, as well as myself, congratulations. My hat is off to you. Best of luck in all that you do.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Black Hills State University, they have a huge powwow up there every year too, so that's really good. We see that. One little note I would like to mention for all of you graduates, you should know this, and all of our people here, and all of our visitors today. I want to read a letter, and we should do this because it's something that was earned through public recognition and esteem. And as a witness, as a former staff member at Sinte Gleska University, I know that every time the president went someplace and some kind of award was presented to Sinte Gleska College, back in the college days and university, he would accept the award, but not behalf of himself. It had his name, but he would always accept it on behalf of the institution. The institution, not himself. And I've heard him say this many times. Every time he come back from someplace, they awarded this to me. I accepted it on behalf of Sinte Gleska College. They awarded this to me. I accepted it on behalf of Sinte Gleska University. That's commitment, belief. And as Cheryl said, Dr. Crazybo said, he's the longest serving college president of any college in the United States of America. So again, I want to read this letter for you. Dear Mr. Bordeaux, President Sinte Gleska University, it is my honor to inform you that you have been selected for induction into the National Native American Hall of Fame. The induction ceremony will be held on October 13, 2018 in Phoenix, Arizona. The event will be held at Memorial Hall at the Steele Indian School Park at 6 p.m., the site of the former Phoenix Indian School. What an irony. We are here located on the old boarding school here on our home reservation, and he's going to receive an award down there at the site of the former Phoenix Indian School. There's a connection there, and a reception will be held. And so I just want to read the heart of that letter, and it's signed McGwitch James Parker Shield, Chief Executive Officer, National Native American Hall of Fame. So once again, President Lionel Bordeaux, let's give him another round of applause for recognition on a national scale. And I hate you too, John. So thank you. Okay, at this time, we're going to have a blessing and a tying on of the feathers. And now we can all stand up. All graduates, just stand up and come a few steps forward. Make a half-moon shaped circle here. And your sponsors should be behind you. They will hold the plume, the feather, and they're going to pray with those. But we have the prayer. Fred Little, bald eagle. will offer the blessing prayer. And we'll have Chaz Whitefeather will sing the blessing song. And the sponsors, you hold this feather, you hold this plume, you hold it up and pray with it, pray with it. Pray words of meaning, emotion for the graduates, for success in their life, no matter what comes their way, that they'll be able to persevere and overcome anything and everything that comes their way. Okay? And then when we're done with that, we'll have an honor song, and we'll start on the east side here. We'll come across and have a handshaking ceremony for our graduates. So let's all get situated first. Don't tie them on yet. The plume, ladies' plumes that goes on the left side, and the men's feathers either right side or directly down the back in the middle. So don't tie them on yet. You have to pray with them first. And then when you get done tying it on, you can shake hands, give them a hug, give them some words of advice for their walk of life from this day forward. Congratulate them and give them some words of advice to encourage them, okay?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Are they done now? Okay. Mitakepi, a couple things here. I want to introduce our donor who come from New York City to be with us. So, Christine Rogers, if you could make your way up here, and we'd like to have you say a few remarks. But before that, Butch read a letter to you talking about my being inducted into the Native American Hall of Fame. And while it is what it is,
Please stay where you are.
I wish we had something like this for our ancestry. When I think of Sinte Gleska, when I think of Go Crazy Horse, Prelude, Red Cloud, Geronimo, many people deserve to be in a Hall of Fame. But I was surprised when I received this letter, and I will go, but I will go in behalf of not only the institution, but in behalf of the Sichango Lakota Oyate Pilamayapelo. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Want to recognize that. A donor, a benefactor for Sinte Gleska University. Please, everybody, just stay where you are. Don't move. Don't move. We have an honor song to do yet. And listen up, please. Draw your attention this way. Listen up.
Congratulations to all the graduates. I am very, very proud of you. And as a teacher myself, I always cry at graduation. It is so important for you to get an education. And I am so grateful for the work that Sinte Gleska University is doing and for the work of President Bordeaux and all the staff and teachers.
Listen.
Thank you so much. Pilamayai.
Thank you. Thank you. We have the gift for you. Okay, all you graduates, I need you to come back in line here. We need to have an honor song for you, and everyone's going to come through and shake your hands, all of you. Going to congratulate all graduates. Please come back up here. And right after this, we're going to go eat. So come back up here and get in line, please. All graduates, Yupa, we need to congratulate you formally with all of our people and all of our spectators. Please come from the east side first and go across here, okay? Please come from the east side and go across. All graduates, come and line up here again. It always gets to be all mass hysteria towards the end of it. Everybody's willing to head on out and start putting those diplomas to work. So while you are lining up, I'm going to ask one of the board members here to have a blessing of the meal we're about to have here. Reverend Webster Tuhawk, I'm going to ask him to say a blessing of the meal. So please listen up here if you would please.
I'm going, is it on? Yeah. I'm going to say use my native language, Lakota, first, and then I'll end up with the English. Wakantakatukashila, Leon Petu Kiake, Woitea, Wana Yatnukapik, Tehena, Tokihena Lawashte, Nalawakanki, Hechlon Tanchump, and Tarchip, Unaripik, Sampa Iwash Aking Tacha. Heavenly Father, we ask you at this time with the food that's being prepared to bless it so that our bodies, mind, and spirits will be stronger having partaken of this. This I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oha, Pilawiab. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the honor song for class of 2018. Again, we ask you all to come from the east side first and come across this way, so we don't have no collusion in the middle here. Collusion. Okay? Oha, red leaf singer, Wakpeluta. And when you get done shaking hands, go into the commons area on the west side and enjoy a meal in honor of the class of 2018. We want you all to have a meal. Wutapo. Bill Gibbons, Shauna Horning, Mary Kay Helling, Ahmed Jones, and Dr. Barry Dunn, all South Dakota State University. Welcome. We hope, all right, got to say your name anyway. I said, the Barry Chai's up. Oh, go ahead.
Hey,
Take short steps because I feel, oh, I have to go down.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. How about your daughter, what's her name, the one that, Jessie, yeah. Oh, is she? She's still up there. She wasn't. Oh. Barbara, very good. Nice to meet you, Barbara.
Roger.
Dr. Barry Dunn, this is Dr. Alice